This is Prophet Talks. Somewhere along the way, we stopped building kings and started following stars, but stars don't guide you home. They burn out, they distract, they dazzle, they disappear. We turned athletes into prophets, we turned actors into saviors, we made rich our role models, and in doing so, we sold the birthright of a whole generation for the illusion of inclusion. You want to know why we're stuck? Because we gave our oil to lamps that don't light our streets. We burnt altar to celebrities while the old elders of our neighborhood starve. We clap for yachts while our children drown in poverty. But God is calling us back to our roots, back to the village, back to the blessing. Because the moment we stop loading our gift, the moment we stop kneeling at the altar of fame, is the moment God rains down blessings we've never seen before. We are one generation away from greatness, but not if we keep making heroes out of zeros. This is Prophet Talks. My channel is going to operate different. There will be some doom and gloom messages, but I'm not here to tell you what Black people economically lack. I say that for a tone talk. I'm not here to talk about Pan-Africanism. I say that for Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm not here to talk about anything outside of the spiritual ramifications of what we do as a people. As a prophet in that office, this is what I've been called to do. This is what I'm born to do. This is something that God has called me to do. I get visions, and I'm a seer. Celebrity culture is not Black culture. Celebrity culture is not Black culture. Whenever you see these celebrities, you're not seeing Black culture. You're seeing celebrity culture. You're seeing the illusion of what Black people up there want you to see through the real handlers, the white supremacists. That's not a culture that we've propagated. It's not one that we propped up there. It's not one that we do in our neighborhoods. That's something that they do up there when they worship. See, all these people got channels. So we got away from calling our real enemy the devil. You may hear me say the prophet of the spirit of Balaam, but realistically, it's the spirit of the devil. It's devil worship. This celebrity culture is devil worship, and we have to call it out. That's demonic. It's depraved. If you can't answer why you, without just saying, well, free speech, my free speech. I can't just hit somebody and say free speech. I can say I don't like somebody, but I can't hit somebody and say free speech. You shouldn't be able to dress any type of way and say free speech because it's not a speech. Now, if you wore a t-shirt that said make love, not war, or something like that, then you should be able to say that because that's a political message. But if you showing your cat and stuff off on red carpet events and stuff like that, you're saying to everybody that you're a whore. The system rewards representation, not revolution. Look at it once. If they could do it without Blacks, they would. But Blacks have an outside influence. I've said this before. I mean, there's nobody more emulated on planet Earth than the Black man. There's nobody whose genius is permeated not just in his own culture, but outside his culture. Nobody's genius is more seen throughout other cultures. Black culture is seen in every society on every plane of existence that there's a man, there's a Black culture. Black people vote by and believe systems that don't invite us in. They use us. Look, this is a trap of opportunity without access. This is what Black people vote for, opportunity without access. They vote for the opportunity to have access without that being the case. Black people vote for the opportunity to participate without the opportunity of having access. There's no access. If black people voted for access only, I would be remiss to say you shouldn't do that. I would be remiss. I would consider that almost rude. I mean, I think God would even say, access, and with their like, because you can almost see why somebody would want to participate. Better housing, better opportunities, better everything. It's just a matter of God doesn't need celebrities to bless you. David, Moses, and Jesus were not celebrities. They were overlooked, not overbooked. God takes nobodies and changes everything through them. I'm a nobody. I've been a nobody my whole life. I was never the most popular kid. I was anointed, but I was never somebody major or anything like that. I was always trying to walk in my destiny and not knowing how, and hitting my head across different things. But he's using me and my platform, or his platform, for me to use to better grow his flock. My flock is growing every day, and I take care of my sheep so I can be the good shepherd for the good shepherd. A good shepherd for the good shepherd. Spiritual warfare in the media, celebrity platforms, or battlegrounds. Like, you shouldn't. These are war games that these celebrities are playing up. I mean, these celebrities, like, I seen the Big Meech, 50 Cent, and I mean, 50 Cent has been at this for a very long time. A very long time. And somebody like a Meech is new to this. I don't think he knew what he was getting into when he started this. And even myself, once I got into this, I didn't know certain things. Like, I was insulated. I was just with the Lord, for years. That's all I had. That's all I knew. He took me from this plane of existence that I'm speaking to you from, and took me to heaven with him to see everything up there. And I'm just now coming down with the messages from above. But for years, I was insulated. Now I'm just thrown in here like a fish out of water. What happens spiritually when we worship success instead of serve God? You get calamity because your success is only temporal. Success is only temporary. God is forever. Success is temporary. The real heroes were in the trenches. I mean, those are your pastors, your community leaders, and when I say community leaders, it could be even game bangers. Because without them, we would have been slaughtered by the white supremacists. Do know that these crimes keep them away from us and out of their lost hairs. Do know if it wasn't for them, we would have already. I'm the opposite. People say, "Oh well, if we didn't have gangbangers, we would have this and we would have that, and we would be treated like this, and we wouldn't be looked at as that. We would have been lunch." See, you got to really know white supremacy. They eat the weak. We would have been weak, and we would have been lunch. See. That form of Christianity that you see on them streets, that's something that you can't devour. That's faith in action. Those brothers is Christian. Don't let the rap game let you believe that that's how these people are living out there. That's not how they're living. They're living Christian. They say their prayers after their meals like everybody else do. They say their prayers at night like everybody else do. They go out there and they put it out on the line every day for their religion. Those brothers is Christian. We're a generation away from our blessing. Like, you ever see, black people are always one generation away from a blessing of unimaginable riches. And they've been one generation away for however many generations slavery has been over. Black people follow-up game is weak. They gotta follow through on the blessing. When black people got to stay home, you can't order a package and be out and then not home for a couple days without that package being returned to sender. You got to be home to receive the package. The prophet spoke.